wondering if you could tell me the story about how you created Indiegogo and what was the motivation behind it.
Sure. I mean, we fundamentally created Indiegogo to democratize fundraising.
Right.
So we wanted anybody across the world to have the tools to raise money for their ideas. It all started actually many years ago, actually, when I was working on Wall Street in New York and helping filmmakers on the side and a theater production try to raise money, on the nights and weekends that I had. And I experienced firsthand how difficult it was to raise money the traditional way, which is drumming up interest from individuals who happen to be high net worth, etc. And so there's something very fundamentally broken about that. And I had a filmmaker send me his script after he found out I worked at a bank, spending $20 to FedEx it, thinking that I could be his angel to come and save him. And it just really bothered me because I was 22 at the time. I didn't know anything really about much. And he had a lifetime of work behind him, and he was the one begging me for money. So that resonated with me really strongly. Yes. And I remember being upset and calling my mom and being pretty distraught. And she said, well, if this really bothers you, Danae, do something about it. So there we go. Mom. So I planted the seed, and it took a while for me to kind of figure out what it was going to be. I came up with an idea. I went back to business school at Berkeley to launch this idea. I met my co-founders who have been amazing. They came from technology and strategy backgrounds, and they said if you really want to democratize fundraising, you have to take it online. So that's what we did. Wow. And now we've created this global platform in over 159 countries where anyone who has an idea and a passion can create a campaign and raise money. No one's stopping them.
That's so fantastic, I have to say. Great story too, wow. Yeah. So in the past, have you found that women have more of a challenge as regards getting investment and funding? A lot of my interviews have obviously been focused on women, and I just wondered if you've noticed in your experience that has been a piece, a problem or a piece.
Yeah, well, one thing I'm actually quite proud of is on Indiegogo, women are 5 times more likely, or raise 5 times as much money on Indiegogo as they do in the venture world. So what's pretty shocking is I think about, isn't it 8% or so of venture-backed companies?
3 to 5%.
3 to 5% of companies.
That was the last stats that we got. Yeah,
that's not good.
No.
3 to 5% of venture-backed companies are run or co-founded by women, and on Indiegogo, 41% of successful campaigns are run by women. Wow. So I think that just speaks to the democratization of the internet and of Indiegogo and what platform we've created, where we literally give anybody the same tools to succeed, and it's up to them to work hard and raise money. But I think women are just as competent, and our platform is proving that, as having great ideas and raising the money from the people that care the most about those ideas.
Now, it's interesting that so many women are participating on the platform, because one of the complaints that the VCs and women founders talk about is that there's not enough women actually going for venture or angel investment, and because of that, the figures of the success is much lower. So would it be a safer means of sourcing investment, do you think, doing it in a crowdsourcing way?
Well, I think yes. Well, let me step back. I think raising money via crowdsourcing, so by launching a campaign on Indiegogo and involving your network, extended network, friends of friends, future customers, friends, followers, everyone who is passionate about your idea is a great way to jumpstart your fundraising and funding, because it not just gives you money, that's clearly a benefit, but it also validates your market.
Yes.
And we had one campaign actually that had reached out to I think 43 VCs in the Valley, and they all came back and said, get a little bit more market traction before we put money into you. And they said, well, we need that little bit of money to go build the product to then bring it back into the market and show that we have interest. And what they ended up doing is they went on Indiegogo, raised $25,000 for their mobile device, and now the VCs are calling them. It's completely changed the dynamics. So I think it does a great job of validating that you've got a fantastic idea. We have one campaign called Emmy's Organics, which was by a young woman who wanted to expand her bakery, for example.
Yes.
And what she had done, she had already taken out her first loan to kind of get her storefront up, but now she needed another $15,000 to fund a new kind of brand overhaul of her company. And she just didn't have the working capital and the cash flow from her existing business to expand the bakery and fund this brand expansion.
Right.
So instead of going and trying to take a second loan, she went on to Indiegogo, pre-sold macaroons and brownies to raise over $15,000 to fund her, revamping of her brand. Wow. So it was incredibly powerful because it validated that people wanted to buy her stuff. She actually got more of her product out into the marketplace. It helped with her marketing, and it got her money to actually do the brand thing, and it prevented her from going into debt further.
So what I'm hearing is it's actually knocking quite a few balls, rather than just the one of actually raising the investment.
Correct. I talk about the 5 benefits of crowdfunding all the time. Okay. Clearly money is one. A second benefit is the market validation that we just talked about.
Yes.
Prove that people want your product
or
service. Third is the marketing that happens the moment you have people voting with their dollar. They're your best marketers ever by sharing on Facebook and Twitter, and our whole platform Indiegogo is optimized so that the sharing is prompted. And then the fourth benefit is this participation element from your customers or fans or funders. They're kind of all one right now, because what's happening on Indiegogo is customer financing, kind of in a very broad way.
Yes.
And so you're giving your fans and customers a chance to participate in the making of your product, which is something they've never really been able to do before. If you wanted to, make a music album, for example, you would go take out a loan, scrounge the money together, go into the studio, pay the studio person for space and rental time, go make your album, and then go and start selling your CDs. Now we have musicians, lots of females, who are just pre-selling their album to their fans, and their fans are, pre-buying the album, and the money is actually the money that they're raising is being used to go make the album so they can actually deliver the CDs.
And so I guess there's a component in this of actually, because it is on the internet and because there's lots of people involved, that it's also spreading your brand or your name and getting more fans, really. Is what's possible, I would imagine.
Totally. Yeah, all the feedback that we hear from customers is the amount of overwhelming support they feel when they launch a crowdfunding campaign. Some of them are almost brought to tears because they know they have fans out there, but they don't really know how much they're caring, because when you vote with your dollar, you show how much you really care.
Yes.
We had one campaign owner, a mom of 3 kids, who raised money for her photography business. She had been working kind of part-time for a long time and really wanted to launch her own business, and was struggling with time and kids and the whole shebang. So she went on to Indiegogo, raised the money to launch her photography project, and was overwhelmed by the outpouring of support that she got to do this. She got picked up by Good Morning America, and then she got a book deal. So, or an offer. We'll see if she takes it. But I mean, talk about unintended, unexpected benefits that come.
Opportunity.
I mean, there's a man who writes about fundraising for filmmakers specifically, and he calls this phenomenon the idea of currying serendipity. So when you put your idea out into the world, saying, "This is what I want to do.
Yes.
Hey world,
yes.
I've got this passion. I'm going to do it with a little bit of your help, with $5, $100, $20, maybe just sharing the link 5 times with your 5 friends. You can actually help me do that." And what ends up happening is the campaigns will fly around the internet, and you never know what kind of good stuff will come out. We had one. Actually, a filmmaker, a woman, who was doing a documentary on Hava Nagila, which is that famous Jewish song that everyone dances to. Everybody knows the song, whether you're Jewish or not. Even in Australia, it's an awesome. And she ended up raising $13,000, all from people who loved the song or loved her work, and her campaign flew across the internet by being shared and on Facebook and email, etc. And she got a call one day from the grandchildren of the man who wrote that song from Israel.
No.
Just because she put it out there in the world that she was doing this.
Wow.
So it's I mean, now they're helping her make the film and providing introductions for even better interviews, so actually the quality of her film has gone up. So the key here is share. Just be transparent, be open, invite people in, because that's what you're doing with the crowdfunding campaign.
Yes. And would you have any tips for those of us who have campaigns on Indiegogo? Is there any tips about how to make it work better?
Oh, we have lots of tips, and we actually put all of our tips and insights into our blog, so I encourage you to go check out our blog on Indiegogo.com. But I think the keys to success for raising money and engaging your audience is really starting with a great pitch. And what that means is 3 things. It means getting really personal. So people contribute to people.
Yes.
Not just ideas, but people.
Yes.
So what that means is make a video pitch clip, put yourself in it, show why you're making this project, why you care so much, what the impact on the world is going to be, and what's going to happen if it doesn't happen. Because people need to feel the emotional tie as to what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be just a cause or a charity, even though that's a very strong element on our site. But it can be, a small business. We have one project that called Walk in Love, where it was a young couple. They own a t-shirt design business, and they'd just gotten themselves into a kiosk in a mall, and now they needed to raise about $15,000 or $30,000 to build their business and expand, so they could actually take out a space in the mall, a full office. And so they just got really personal. They put themselves in it. They showcased why they are making t-shirts and what the stories on the t-shirts were, and it was really personal. And you kind of had, after watching the video, you're like, I want that guy and that girl to win. So it's that emotional tug.
So that's a big key then.
It's a big key. So keep it personal, and be transparent and specific with your use of funds. So talk about what you're raising the money for and how you're going to spend it, because people like to know where their money is going. And if there's transparency there, that'll be more likely to help you raise money. The second kind of key ingredient to being successful with this is being proactive. The last thing you want to do is post a campaign and walk away.
Yes.
Posting a campaign is just the beginning. You have to continue to update your fan base, your followers, provide progress updates, which we give you all that technology on Indiegogo to do, and get out there and be proactive with the influencers in your area. So what that means is, if you're this t-shirt company, it's about going to bloggers or organizations that are trying to help small businesses in your area and having them write about your campaign. Or just being very strategic with who are the people in the world, what reporters, what leaders, what Facebook group leaders, what organization heads care about you succeeding, your campaign succeeding. So, and the third kind of element of a great success story is having a community that cares.
Yes.
So it's getting back to the market validation. If you're creating something that no one wants to buy or no one wants to fund, then maybe it shouldn't be done.
Yes.
Maybe it should stay with you and that's it. But if you have a community that cares, if you have customers that want your product, if you have fans that want your music, or if you have, people out there that care about the charity or cause that you care about, then you're going to be successful. It's just a matter of reaching them.
And I've heard you say then that it's not just creative projects that this covers, that even a small business or a startup could actually get a bit of a start with some funding by doing some crowdsourcing. And you've got a few businesses on there, I gather.
Yeah, we have lots of businesses. Brilliant. And we have a lot of women-owned businesses. We have, in particular, this one that stands out is a fashion designer. She was trying to launch her fashion line. And then a makeup designer who, she actually had investment dollars ready to go for her to launch her makeup line, but the investors wanted her to use chemicals in it, and that was her whole point, was to make a chemical-free makeup line. So she said thanks, but no thanks. She went on to Indiegogo and she raised all the money. She raised several $1,000s to launch her makeup line, and she did it by offering really cool perks.
Yes, I bet.
Which is like the ability to name the lipstick or the mascara.
So you could do some great stuff.
You can get really creative and let people pick and choose what they like.
Yes. Well, look, thank you so much for all this input. It's fantastic, and I definitely see that it's another way for women to actually raise funds.